Welcome to another video in our new series, In the Garage. Last time, we upgraded our solar from a 100-watt rigid panel to 3 180-watt flexible ones. In this episode, we'll be upgrading our internet from our Netgear Hotspot to Starlink's roaming satellite. When we started working from the road in our Lance 825 truck camper, we used a Netgear mobile hotspot for our Wi-Fi. We also purchased a WeBoost antenna to help strengthen the hotspot's cell signal. This system worked great when we were camping near town, but anything outside of that wasn't super reliable and limited us on where we could travel. So we gave in and purchased our very own Starlink satellite. Since we are pretty nomadic on the road, we chose the Flat High Performance Starlink. Unlike the standard model that needs to be set up each time, this one will be permanently mounted to the roof of our truck camper. We also chose Starlink's mobile plan, so whether we're at camp or traveling on the road, as long as it's plugged into our inverter and unobstructed, we'll have internet. This will be extremely useful when we're traveling through national parks and remote spaces. And the best part is we can pause our service plan for the months we're not living in our truck camper. Now let's install this thing. Inside our truck camper, we needed to mount the power supply and router. We discovered there was plenty of room for both on the wall behind the TV. This simply entailed screwing the mounts into the wall. We also removed one of the cable TV outlets to run the power cord from the satellite on the roof to the power supply inside. This involved feeding the cord through the refrigerator vent and pulling it through the cable outlet, which is easier said than done when trying to document yourself at the same time.
Video of this. I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, now you can feed more. Okay, there we go.
Now let's install the mount for the satellite. Step 1 was to mark where we wanted to install it on the roof. Step 2 was remembering we needed to clean the area with alcohol first, erasing everything we just did. So after repeating step 1, we applied butyl tape as an extra precaution to firmly attach the mount to the roof.
Okay, and then there's a circle in the middle, and I just line this up with that said circle. Boom, shakalaka. Good. See? This is astronaut silicone. Keeps aliens out. Maybe. Let's see what color it is. Is it green like aliens? Nope, it's clearish. Well, that's fine too.
Dave applied the provided astronaut silicone to each hole in the mount. This was to help completely seal the area when we screwed it into the roof, which we immediately did next.
Okay. It's now glued and screwed, baby. Flow tack and static.
We then applied lap sealant to ensure everything was watertight. To prep the actual Starlink, we applied the provided thread lock on each screw before fastening them into the back of the receiver. This was to prevent it from shaking loose while driving on the road. Now it was time to slide the satellite into the mount, apply thread lock to a few more screws, and tighten them underneath to fully affix the Starlink to the mount.
Gonna need a tool to help me do this. I don't have the finger strength.
We then plugged it in and secured the power cord to the roof with adhesive holders. And yes, for those with eagle eyes, our clumsy selves already scratched the surface of the satellite. Let's head inside and see if it still works. Behind the scenes, we ran a power strip from our inverter by the dinette to the wall underneath the TV and plugged in the Starlink equipment. We also covered the hole that we fished the power cord through with a brush wall plate. Now for the moment of truth. After setting everything up through the Starlink app, our satellite was powered up and online. Now, let's go test it. We jumped in the truck and drove into Boulder Canyon, an absolute dead zone for cell service. And sure enough, I was able to have a text conversation with a friend while Dave FaceTimed his brothers. And we even streamed our YouTube channel. Ecstatic about our Starlink, we ventured deeper into the mountains and parked by a lake in another dead zone. We were actually pretty happy to leave town because at the time, Boulder's air quality was very poor due to the wildfires in Canada. Not only were we in the fresh air of the Rockies, but there were bald eagles hunting for fish around the lake. Back in our truck camper, we connected our TV and laptop to Starlink, and once again was easily streaming multiple videos. A small trail up to the ridge overlooking Moraine Park.
We got Wi-Fi
Oh yeah.
in the mountains.
Hell yeah.
Look at that.
that.
If you're new to our channel, we were powering our Starlink with our 700-watt inverter, which was powered by two 100 amp-hour lithium iron phosphate batteries, which was charged by three 180-watt flexible solar panels. If you're interested, I put the links to those install videos in the description below. Since we installed Starlink in the spring, we've been using it all summer long as we traveled around the country. Here's what we've learned so far. Starlink is pretty finicky with tree coverage. For example, we had service in this campsite. But then this single tree blocked us from having internet since the Starlink needs a north-facing sky. This has been the one downside of having it permanently mounted to the roof of our truck camper. But we've adapted by picking out campsites with open sky or getting creative with how we park in our spot. Other than that, we can't really fault it. We've had perfect internet in remote places. From the Needles district of Canyonlands to the far reaches of Nevada and Great Basin. So for us, Starlink was well worth the investment.